What's up, biology bros? Jake Biney here. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about channelization. So, channelization is actually, the definition is to cut or to form channels into something, or to direct through a channel. Normally you hear about this when it comes to like rivers or streams. Basically here's some pictures of it. It's concrete or other materials that are put along the sides of a river or stream to force water a certain way in case of a flood, so that like it doesn't overflow and destroy your property or your crops or anything like that. Channelization can cause multiple problems. Not only like will it help like control floods, but that can also create dangerous conditions for people who are near these channelized streams and rivers, because since the concrete holds it and creates a smaller, more controlled flow, it also flows faster. So if you like fall into it or something falls into it, it's not going to survive and it's going to drown most likely. Channelization can kill off all the native plant and animal species, because the concrete covering up the soil will often kill like all the minerals and everything that the plants need to survive. And without plants, there's no animals, and that's not good. I actually have had an experience with this. I always go to North Carolina like every summer to hang out with my cousins and family, because they all live there. And in a place called Asheville, North Carolina, if any of you guys know where that is. We always used to go to this one river, and like we used to raft and barbecue. And I used to fish, of course, because I love animals. I don't know the name of it, sadly, but each year we go. There used to be tons of animals. There used to be snakes and everything, because like I love to hunt for snakes and stuff. But I realized like the next year I went, I didn't catch any fish. And then the next year later, I noticed a whole stretch of the river had just concrete all the way down when we were rafting. But there were areas that didn't have concrete, but for the most part it was concrete. And then I noticed there were like less plants and trees, and I was never able to find any snakes after that. So that's an example of what channelization can actually do to the environment. Actually, in that picture right there, in the very middle, how it's got water in it, that's a floodplain. And a floodplain is basically an area, just in case the river does flood, that the water will go and cover to help in case of flooding. So rivers kind of have their own way of controlling floods. So channelization is not necessarily necessary. Like what I did there? Okay, not necessarily necessary to control flooding, because floodplains are there for that reason. My proposal to help possibly stop channelization, or at least cut it down to a minimum to where the rivers and the plant life still flourish, would be to only use the concrete on the bends, or like the areas that would most likely overflow in case of a flood. I have a little drawing here. It's not anything like major, but it just gives you an example of what I'm trying to accomplish. The back is, or the second page is what I would like to accomplish. Because by only having the concrete on the bends of the river, we'll still allow the river to create its own path, you know, and to go where it should, and there'll still be plant species. The animals will still survive. And the floodplains will still be there to stop the water. But if we only put it on the corners of the river, it'll still control the water and help in case there is a flood, like as a berm to stop the water from overflowing. But none of the plants and animal species will end up dying. That's it.